Question number 1. The compound that speeds up the reaction is known as, very simple, initiator is the one which starts the reaction. Inhibitor which stops the reaction. Slows the reaction, speeds up the reaction. Right? Aqueous impression material which is used to record maximum details. Aqueous means water based. Aqueous means water based. Water based is alginate and agar. This is also water based. This is not water based. Maximum detail. It's agar. Agar is one of the most accurate impression in aqueous medium. The component which forms the main three-dimensional structure of the final impression is. Main three-dimensional structure of the final impression is base-based. Dr. Nikita, please tell me from where did you read this? Main three-dimensional structure of the final impression. I want to know the source because which notes, please tell. Because this part I never covered in the lecture also, and it's good you have read it, but I am giving you today in your extra reading part. Okay, see this. I was making this and then I obliterated the base because it's starting from C. This is screenshot of Phillips only. I didn't include base because I knew the question is there. Okay, this is the definition of the base based. Right? So I'll give you this PDF. It will be on the app. Annotated one. Okay. But we will discuss this as and when the things are coming. Important points also we will, and even like the notes synopsis which are uploaded has these definitions. In your course, it is already uploaded. The ability of the polymer to behave like an elastic solid and a viscous liquid. Elastic solid means it is solid but it is elastic. Elastic, I told you, it is stretchable, not permanent. And plastic is permanent, not stretchable. Viscous liquid is known as, yes, viscoelastic. Viscous liquid is known as dashpot component. Dashpot component. And this elastic word is giving the name spring component. Dashpot component, spring component. Becomes more fluid when applied force is increased. You know that Bingham liquid, Newtonian pseudoplastic is here, either dilated, either elastic. You know this graph, it is important always. Thixotropic is the one which becomes more liquid when it is stirred or more solid. What more solid? Pseudoplastic is not becoming more solid. Dilatant is becoming more solid. That is why it is a downward graph. It is a graph which is lower than Newtonian. Viscosity is not increasing, it is decreasing rather. You can read it later on. I never gave example of dalda. Okay. Becomes more liquid when it is or shaken, stirred or shaken or patted or even vibrated. Stirred, shaken, patted, vibrated. Stirred, shaken, patted, vibrated. The catalyst, sorry, just see the question number 3. Catalyst is the one which decreases the energy required for the reaction. Energy required for the reaction. But impression materials, in impression materials, catalyst means the one which initiates the reaction. You can compare catalyst with an enzyme which decreases the activation energy for the reaction. Catalyst is actually the word here also is not going to take part in the main reaction. But in impression material, catalyst is the word which Phillips says is used for initiating the reaction. Question number 5. The process of expression of fluid onto the surface of a gel structure which allows hydrocolloid impression to achieve equilibrium through stress relaxation. The long definition of syneresis. Syneresis. Opposite of syneresis is what? Imbibition. It is opposite of syneresis. Involves water absorption. Imbibition is opposite of syneresis. All of the following are requirements for producing accurate impression except material should be fluid enough to adapt to the tissue. Yes, we require. Material should be viscous enough to be held in the tray. Yes, you should be able to hold the material in the tray. Material should not distort on removal. Yes, we don't want distortion of the impression of the set material. The material should take a long time to set is wrong. Yes. I hope you have understood these parameters. They are easy. Which of the following is not an impression material which sets by irreversible reaction? Agar is reversible. Not an example of mucocompressor. Yes, 8 ka D. Mucocompressive are the ones like impression compound. Okay, here it is. Impression compound is mucocompressive. Elastomers have a mucocompressive. Alginate in thick consistency is mucocompressive. Any material which has got its own weight will be mucocompressive. Any material which has its weight. Mucostatic impression plaster plus ZOE are mucostatic. Mucostatic. Not an example of elastic impression material. Elastic ones are polysulfide. This is not elastic. Mm, Amongst the option, alginate is elastic. This is not elastic. Yeah, this is not elastic. These are the basic classifications. Not an example of non-aqueous. 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 Aqueous. 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 Polyether is non-aqueous. Polyether is hydrophilic but non-aqueous. Elastomeric. It is not non-aqueous and elastomeric. Time from the start of mixing and ending just before the elastic properties have developed. This is what? Just before elastic properties is working time. We have done this, I think, in the last class also. In the first class, cements. Okay. Setting time. The time from start of mixing to the point where the material loses its flow potential or plasticity. Just give me a second. I have to check at the door. Yes, Dr. Vipasha, aqueous and hydrophilic means different. Aqueous means the material is water-based. Water is an integral part of the setting reaction or medium of reaction. That is in the case of alginate, agar, impression plaster. You have to mix it with water, otherwise the material won't have its own properties. Hydrophilic is a different property. Hydrophilic is either the material loves water or does not love water. It is not related to aqueous and non-aqueous. Non-aqueous are those which are not requiring water, like all elastomers. They don't require water basically. But amongst elastomers, polyether is hydrophilic. Dr. Shri, I don't know. I have to check. Dal dal. All of the following conditions will reduce permanent deformation. while removal from the oral cavity when using elastomeric impression materials except all of the following conditions will reduce permanent deformation from the removal, allowing adequate polymerization except this will not, this is what we want actually. Rapid removal of the impression along the path of the, this is going to reduce it. Rapid removal is again going to reduce it. Negligible pressure application during polymerization, yes, that will also not lead to permanent the deformation, but altering the base catalyst ratio might affect it. Another factor which will cause distortion is undercuts. Undercuts will cause distortion. The brown color of polysulfide is because of. Question number 13. Fast. Yes, it's because of lead. Lead dioxide causes this. This is the ingredient which is also causing radio opacity. Polysulfide was initially used in the rubber industry. It was not intended to be used for this. The advantages are it has got excellent biocompatibility. It is the only radio opaque elastomer. Okay, only radio opaque elastomer, polysulfide. It is the material like which is having a lot of problems. These are the advantages. Disadvantages are it causes staining of the teeth, brown staining of the clothes of both operator and the patient. Brown color comes from lead dioxide staining. It has got maximum flow. It has got maximum flow. It has, because of high flow, it has a tendency to run down on patient's throat. It has got bad odor, metallic odor and taste. Bad odor. So that is why it has been discontinued. It was the first elastomer to be used, but it was not designed purposely as an impression material for the dental industry. It was actually in the rubber industry. The byproduct of setting reaction of polysulfide. Why the polysulfide impressions are not dimensionally inaccurate? They are dimensionally inaccurate because of volatile byproduct, and that is water. Volatile byproduct, that is water. 14 ka B. Which of the following is added to polysulfide to increase the rate of reaction? What acts as an accelerator of the reaction? Sulfur. The initiator in polysulfide is lead dioxide. This is retarder. Oleic acid or stearic acid. Basic component of condensation silicon. Mercaptan group, SH group is of polysulfide. Vinyl polysiloxane or polyvinyl siloxane is the other name of addition silicon. Tetrahydrofuran is related to polyether. Hydroxyl terminated polydimethyl siloxane is your condensation. Actually हाइड्रोक्सिल के पहले लिख राइट डाउन अल्फा एंड ओमेगा. अल्फा ओमेगा हाइड्रोक्सिल terminated. Let us just quickly read through the important points here. Polysulfide contains mercaptan group called polysulfide polymer. Filler is lithophone or titanium. Everything is important in this PDF which I am giving you. Otherwise, I will. So this is the cut short of your Phillips chapter. Okay. So if you read through this, you are the most sorted, most correctly read person on this planet. If you are reading these lines once, anytime before the NEET exam. Okay. Plasticizer. The filler is providing strength. Plasticizer is dibutyl phthalate. The same is a plasticizer in denture-based resin also. We have seen in last class. Okay, what is the role of plasticizers? To confer the appropriate viscosity. Small quantity of sulfur, approximately 0.5%, acts as an accelerator. We have just seen the MCQ. Okay. The catalyst or the accelerator phase contains lead dioxide with filler and plasticizer also. Polychorsteric acid acts as a retarder to control the rate of setting reaction. The brown color is coming from lead dioxide. The term catalyst and accelerator used here and with other impression makers have misnomers. Moisture and temperature have got significant role. Again, increase in moisture or humidity, increase in temperature, increase in viscosity will decrease setting time of all elastomers. This for all material except gypsum. Okay. The reaction yields water as a byproduct. Loss of this molecule has a significant effect on the dimensional stability of the impression. Abhi condensation we have done now, so we will do only condensation. Acha, condensation is nothing very. There is something wrong. I copy pasted one paragraph of condensation also. गायब हो जाता. There is. I have to check before making the PDF. I very well remember I did omega wala part. I don't know how it is, where it is going. Last time also this happened. I remembered saving that part. So not a problem.